carry that into the postseason, possibly catch the Blue Jays for the division. But what they've done is gotten more athletic, and defense has shored up. So the Yankees are playing their best baseball at the right time.
On the other side, the Orioles have made it to the postseason in each of the last 2 Octobers. That will not be the case this year, but they do have some terrific young talent.
They really do. They have one of the youngest rosters in all of baseball. They have 4 position players that they're building their team around. They just need to. Their pitching fell apart. They had many injuries. When you can have the likes of these 2 young men doing what they're capable of doing, of course, Henderson's having an okay year, not a great year, but the sky is still bright in Baltimore. They just got to find some pitching.
These teams will meet 7 times over the next week and a half. It's the first of 4 in Baltimore, and it's coming up next on Fox. Yankees, Orioles, baseball night in America.
In the mirror and realize that we're the team to beat. We're the best team in the league. I feel like any team that thinks they're better than us, they should know when we step on the field that we're coming with relentlessness.
A season high 18 games over the 500 mark. Their starting lineup sponsored by Rinfolk. Paul Goldschmidt will lead off, followed by Judge, then Cody Bellinger. Stanton in the cleanup spot. Rosario, Grisham, Volpe, Caballero, and Wells. As the Yankees get set to face the 25-year-old left-hander with a record of 3-7 this season for the Orioles, Cade Povich. Yankees and Orioles have split 6 games this season. They have 7 remaining. 33rd consecutive winning season, John, for the Yankees franchise.
So much pressure on Aaron Boone. Last year didn't end up the greatest, and now he's got an opportunity to get back to the postseason to undo what was really an unfortunate inning, but he doesn't care about that right now. He cares about getting and locking in a playoff spot.
Cade Povich looking for his first ever victory against an American League East opponent. 0-5 over 11 career starts against the division.
Well, the biggest thing he's got to do is keep the ball in the yard. He's had trouble with the home run ball, and there's a split of what he throws. He's going to have a lot of fastballs that he wants to power inside to right-handers. But if he can keep the ball in the yard, he's got a chance to give his team a good chance to beat the Yankees. On an average, about 2 home runs per 9 innings is got to go down as he matures and gets to the next level in his career.
3rd round pick by the Minnesota Twins back in 2021, second season as an Oriole. For the Orioles defensively from left to right in the outfield, O'Neill, Mateo, Jackson. Around the infield, Mayo, Vasquez, Henderson, Westberg, with Basayo behind the plate. Orioles have been better as of late. They've won 6 of their last 10, 12 of their last 17 games. They're 5 games over the 500 mark since Tony Manzolino replaced Brandon Hyde back in mid-May.
Yeah, he took over a tough situation with high expectations, but he talked about it in the open. Their pitching just let him down, didn't stay healthy, and they couldn't get to 5 innings very often. So offensively, that's a tough task to overcome.
There's Paul Goldschmidt leading things off for the Yankees in his 15th Major League season. The 2022 National League Most Valuable Player. He's 1 for 3 lifetime against Povich. His only hit left the ballpark. Underway in Baltimore on Baseball Night in America. Ball 1 to Goldschmidt.
The key for Povich to get that fastball on the inner part of the plate, get enough strikes to get ahead, because this vaunted lineup will crush you if they're ahead, the Yankees.
Now 1-1 with Aaron Judge waiting on deck. Yankees scored 10 runs in each of their last 2 games in Minnesota. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Goldschmidt, Judge, Bellinger for the Yankees here in the top of the first inning in Baltimore. Two-one from Povich, off the glove of the shortstop Henderson into left field. So the leadoff man is on for the Yankees to start this game. As Aaron Judge steps in, our Indeed player resume.
Well, this guy, I mean, words don't describe. He's not even having the greatest year. And look at the numbers, meaning he's not totally locked in. And talking to his manager, he said the best is yet to come. And that's hard to believe with what he's been doing. He is absolutely crushing the fastball. Nobody hits it better. Power numbers, average. You're going to have to get him off the fastball and get him out with breaking ball. And you see the numbers on the year, looking to become back-to-back Yankee with 50 home runs. Babe Ruth, I think, is the only other Yankee to do that.
Judge has already hit 50 home runs 3 times in his career. Ruth did it 4 times. Leadoff single for Goldschmidt. And now the count 1-2 on Judge.
Well, Povich gets ahead of the hitters. His fastball strikeouts looking are going to be inside, meaning he freezes the hitter inside thinking it's a ball and he catches the inner part of the plate. That's where a big percentage of his strikeouts looking come into, establishing that inside fastball.
How about Judge's lifetime numbers, John, against Povich? 2 for 2, 2 home runs.
Yeah, I'd say a small sample size, but that's damage. And, you know, he's going to do that against a lot of young pitchers who cannot make their pitch when they want to.
And now the 2-2 pitch from Povich, in for a called strike 3. He retires Judge for the first time in 3 career at-bats.
Well, that wasn't inside, but it's another called looking strikeout. You know, he tries to paint the outside part of the plate, but it actually floats back into the inner third and just locks up Judge.
Ramon De Jesus, the home plate umpire. First pitch to Bellinger, missing inside, ball 1.
Nothing worse for a pitcher when you get ready to deliver your pitch and he never was going to swing. He just stood there and you go, oh man, I just wasted an opportunity, but the pitcher doesn't know he's not going to swing. Cody Bellinger having a real bounce back year from the Chicago Cubs and thriving at Yankee Stadium and thriving in this lineup.
29 home runs. He's driven in 97.
Wow. Not so sure he thought that was a strike. High curveball. The high curveball is unhittable, but you never think you're going to get that call.
Bounce foul off to the right side. Now 2-2. Goldschmidt with a leadoff single off the glove of the shortstop Henderson. Povich struck out Aaron Judge. And now Bellinger awaits the 2-2. Orioles and Yankees have split their first 6. Yankees have out-homered the Orioles 13-5 so far throughout the season series. Popped up, foul territory, and Westberg unable to make the play.
Well, the Yankees have 8 players that have more home runs than the team leader, which is Holiday for the Baltimore Orioles. So that just tells you the power outage that happened in the Orioles lineup and how much power the New York Yankees have. 129 homers at home and 129 homers on the road.
7 Yankees have hit at least 20. Anthony Volpe one shy. He's at 19. Count is full with Stanton waiting on deck.
Yankees did not take batting practice today. They got in about 4 in the morning from their road trip. That's happened to them quite a bit when you're the Yankees. You're going to be on prime time in late games.
Another foul off the bat of Bellinger.
And usually it's the second day that has the biggest impact. You know, your adrenaline gets you here. You get your sleep late and you get to the ballpark and hit refresh in your mind, but then your body starts feeling it the second time or the second day that the realization is that you didn't get much sleep before. But their pitcher's ahead, which is always a smart move to let your pitcher get a full night's rest and prepare for tonight's game.
8th pitch of the at-bat is low and away, ball 4, so Bellinger will head to first. Yankees 2-1 with only 1 out for Stanton.
Mr. Stanton is enjoying a bounce-back year after being hurt for so much of it. 20 homers. You see the average of 271, so that's a big plug. Plus to plug him in the lineup healthy.
1 home run shy of 450. Ball 1 to Stanton. Goldschmidt the runner on second. Bellinger over first with 1 out. When you would fly ahead on occasion in those situations, was that strange games being away from the team, or you were happy to get the rest?
Happy to get routine in your rest, and you know there's nothing you're going to be able to contribute.
Stanton sends this one to deep left field. Under it is O'Neill, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, there's nothing as a pitcher you're going to contribute to the day before. You want to be there for your guys, but at the same time, if you're going to have rest and be ready for your part of your job, why not?
Max Fried getting set to take the mound for the Yankees. 2 on, 2 out for Rosario. Acquired in late July from the Washington Nationals, his 13th game with the Yankees.
He loves hitting off of left-handed pitchers, and 318 coming in off of lefties. So the Yankees improved their depth and their bench and some of the moves they made to give them the best chance to make a long run again. Now, the one thing that hasn't worked out very well is the bullpen depth they added. That's got to be figured out. And you see the splits right there for Rosario. If they can get the kinks worked out in their bullpen, they're going to be dangerous in the postseason.
1-1 from Povich, and Rosario rips this one into the left field corner. Coming around to score is Goldschmidt. Bellinger around third, heading home. Rosario drives in 2, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, they moved the fences back in, but this didn't matter. This ball was hung and hit down the line for an easy double. And even with the fences moved in, that wasn't going to stop Bellinger from being able to score with 2 outs. It's a pitcher's nightmare with 2 outs to give up this kind of hit, because you know it's going to be 2 runs.
Frank Grisham swings at the first pitch and flies out to O'Neill in left, but the Yankees score a pair and take an early lead here in Baltimore.
It feels so Still dealing
with a record of 72 and 80, Ryan Mountcastle leads off, followed by Jordan Westberg, Gunnar Henderson, then Tyler O'Neill in the cleanup spot, Jackson, Mayo, Nasayo, Mateo, and Vasquez. As the Orioles face Max Fried, tied for the Major League lead, John, with 17 wins on the season.
Yeah, he had a little rough spout like every pitcher does, but he's righting the ship at the right time for Max Fried. He's got about 6-7 different pitches that he's going to throw at you, and there they are. And don't think you can eliminate any of them. If he's on his game, he's tough to hit.
First pitch to Mountcastle, in for a called strike. Fried has won each of his last 4 starts. 1 and 2 lifetime in 4 starts against the Orioles.
Well, it's also nice. His team rewards him with a lot of good runs when he pitches. That's a great feeling. He's got the big breaking ball that you saw right there. He'll cut it in. He'll four-seam top of the zone. But this is the signature pitch that I think when he hits into the strike zone, the hitters are going to have a hard time. That variance is too big between his fastball and his breaking ball. See, there's a good example right there of the breaking ball in the 96 up, and he can't get to it. 7.25 runs of support. Sign me up. That is a great recipe for success.
You would certainly take that. Mountcastle down on strikes, 1 away.
And the thought of having Max Fried alongside Garrett Cole, and unfortunately Garrett Cole went down with an injury, so now the Yankees relying on 2 left-handers at the top of the rotation, Rodon and Fried, and that is they're looking for that right-hander to give them a little bit of a mix and match, so when they get into a series, you have that right-hander to break up the lineup a little bit.
Jordan Westberg 0 for 6 lifetime against Fried. The 0-1. 0-2.
That's that really good sinker that he can command on the outside part of the plate. We call that arm side. Now he can come in if he wants or throw that breaking ball. But once he's established outside, the window of opening up the inside is so much bigger because the hitter thinks he's going to keep going away. And that's just a good pitch right there to keep him honest away after missing 2 sinkers.
One-two from Fried. Judge in right. Westberg retired, 2 away.
The last 3 games, Fried's gotten in trouble with not getting the leadoff batter on. If he can keep that number down and get less traffic on the bases with the offense that he gets, man, it'll be a quicker game. It'll be a deeper game.
So with 2 outs, here's Gunnar Henderson. His season kind of epitomizes what the Orioles have gone through this year. They won 101 games 2 years ago, made it back to the postseason last year. But they've had a number of key guys who have dealt with either injuries or who have had down seasons or both.
Yeah, hard to explain, right? From year to year, that's baseball, making adjustments. They'll go to the lab and go to the offseason and figure out what they did do this year that they did previously. And Gunnar Henderson struggling against left-handers this year, and typically he shouldn't struggle against anybody.
Henderson fouls out down the left field line to end the inning. 1-2-3 first for Max Fried. 2-0 Yankees.
at Fish.
Back in Baltimore, Kenny Albert, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal. Yankees with 2 runs, 2 hits in the first inning against Cade Povich. Anthony Volpe leading off here in the second. Volpe Volpe batting just .208. He has driven in 71 runs.
And he's looking for that one more home run to put him in elite category as a team. 8 players with 20 or more home runs. He's sitting at 19.
And that would tie a major league record. 8 players on one team in a single season with at least 20 home runs. Volpe hit 21 as a rookie 2 seasons ago. Caballero on deck, then Wells. Yankees already out to a 2-0 advantage.
And I hate it for him, all the pressure that's on him and the expectation for filling the role. I think there's a, and again, I know enough about hitting to be dangerous. I just think the power and the chasing of certain things, especially at Yankee Stadium, hurts him. I think you get in some bad mechanical funks. It's hard to get out of the big leagues when the rest of the league has kind of figured out certain things, certain doors to go to, and he's going to figure it out, but the pressure on him is greater than anybody in that lineup.
Payoff pitch. There's a call, strike 3. So 1 away as we send it downstairs. Check in with Ken Rosenthal as Caballero takes a called strike. Ken.
Kenny, Orioles pitching coach Drew French was the Braves bullpen coach from 2021 to 23 before coming to Baltimore in 24. That spring, when the Orioles visited the Braves for an exhibition in Florida, French asked Max Fried, then with Atlanta, to speak with a fellow left-hander who had yet to make his major league debut. That was Cade Povich. Both pitchers feature outstanding curveballs.
Caballero on with a bunt single.
So, Kenny, as I was saying, both pitchers feature outstanding curveballs, and French thought Povich would benefit from the conversation. Fried said he has been following Povich ever since.
Facing one another here tonight at Camden Yards, and what a pickup John Caballero has been for the Yankees. He leads all of baseball with 48 stolen bases, 14 since coming over from Tampa Bay in late July, and he's on at first thanks to his speed.
Yeah, it gives them a lot more athleticism. It gives them a lot more chances to clean up some of the problems they had last year, running the bases, playing defense, all those things. A much better Yankees team.
Aaron Boone telling us Caballero, one of those players, you hate him when he's on the other side, but once he joins your team, he's one of your favorites.
Yeah, I've been there, done that many times, of seeing somebody from afar going, man, the guy drives me crazy, and then we end up getting him and going, now I know why he was driving me crazy. You want him on your team.
Any specific examples that come to mind?
Well, just mannerisms. They're always mannerisms. You don't know the player because you see him from afar, and you get kind of.
Austin Wells shoots this one down the left field line, foul.
You kind of get grumpy with their mannerisms. Some look cocky, some look like, they irritate you because you're playing against them. That's a real reason. But then you get to know them when they get to your team, and you realize how much you'd rather have them on your team than looking at the mannerisms from afar.
Caballero takes his lead off first. And now will be caught in a rundown. And it's tagged out.
Well, that's one of those thrown over twice. He got really out there, was in no man's land, and he just figured I better go. And a good decision to throw over to first and an easily executed rundown. There's that dancing around, and it caught him.
The tag from the first baseman, Mayo. 0-2 to Wells. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's interesting. If he'd have gone right away, the throw had taken the first baseman way off the bag and had to make kind of a a different kind of throw, but you don't know that when you're getting picked off.
Now 2-2, 2 outs, top of the second inning in Baltimore. Yankees 2 runs in the first. Broken bat, ground ball to the right side. Wells is retired, and that will end the inning. Middle of the second here at Camden Yards, Baseball Night in America. Your team, your players, baseball your way. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Tyler O'Neill leading off for the Orioles against Max Fried here in the bottom of the second inning. Fried retired. The Birds in order in the first, John, on 11 pitches.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was coming out of his hand in really good place, especially that breaking ball. I said if he hits it with a breaking ball, it's tough.
Up the middle, Rosario over to first to retire O'Neill for out number 1.
What happens in pitching is when you can make a hitter fearful of something and they know he got a good fastball with it, you're just late. So you see a breaking ball, your radar gun is in your eyes as a hitter, and when you see the slow pitch pop out of his hand, you kind of freeze, unless you're looking for it. And then here comes the fastball. Well, it seems like it's 97 and above now because that velocity change just catches you by surprise.
With one away, here's Jeremiah Jackson. Made his major league debut last month. Originally drafted by the Angels. Spent last season in AAA with the Mets. We talked a little bit about what the Orioles have gone through this year with injuries and players having down years. They've used a franchise record 68 players, including 39 pitchers. There's the interim manager, Tony Manzolino. It's done a nice job kind of holding things together. They have a winning record since he took over. They've won 3 straight, 12 of their last 17.
Well, when you just look at their lineup, it's formidable. It should score, but it's hard to keep catching up when your guy on the mound is not delivering.
Jackson heads down to first. 10 players have made their major league debut this season for Baltimore. 34 different position players, 68 in all. Holiday, as you referenced earlier, leading the club with 17 home runs. Base hit to left field for Bale. Jackson moves to second, so the Orioles threatening here in the second inning.
Bale may have gone up there with a plan to see the first breaking ball he saw and just get on it. Now, that's good hitting, especially if he was looking for it. He didn't miss it.
So with 2 on, 1 out, here's one of those young players you talked about during our open. Samuel Basayo, just 21 years of age, and he signed an 8-year extension just 5 days after his major league debut. We had a look at General Manager, Executive Vice President Mike Elias a moment ago. One from Fried.
To me, that's the most amazing phenomenon in our sport. I don't understand it, but it is the way it is, and they're doing that with a lot of young players. And they're thinking that the projections and the signing will be friendly by the time they reach the level they think. Some guys just don't get there. Some guys don't deliver, so you're kind of taking a little bit of a chance and getting ahead of the curve in the market where they still haven't done some contract negotiations with some of the current guys they have here.
Now 2-2 as we check in with Ken.
Kenny, the Orioles' biggest problem at the start of the season was their starting pitching. It was awful. But since then, Kyle Bradish has returned from surgery, and Trevor Rogers has emerged averaged as one of the better pitchers in the American League. So that's the foundation for next year. If they can add a top-of-the-rotation starter this offseason, the way they did with Corbin Burns 2 years ago, then they might have something going forward.
There's a good slider away, and after Kurt's breaking balls, gets a big strikeout. First and second, now 2 outs.
Second strikeout for Fried. Here's Mateo. Spent 6 years in the Yankees organization. 2 on, 2 out. Jackson the runner on second. Mayo over at first. Mateo traded away by the Yankees in 2017 when they acquired Sonny Gray. Spent a couple of years in San Diego before heading here to Baltimore.
The only issue from time to time for me, from Max Fried, watching him over the years with Atlanta, pitches off to the third base side of the rubber. Sometimes he runs away from his mechanics a little bit, and that causes the command of his fastball to be a little off. So when you're always trying to have like 6, 7 pitches, your release point on a sinker is different than it is on a 4-seamer, which your slider is different than it is on a breaking ball and a cutter and so forth. So sometimes those kind of little things differentiate the dominance versus hitability. And when he's commanding, see, there's a little bit of that running away from his delivery, but when he's commanding his fastball, then you don't have to have such a high rate of success on your breaking ball. You don't have to hit with it for strikes. You'll get more swing and misses out of the zone. It all starts and ends with the fastball command.
2-1 from Fried, missing high and away, ball 3.
Every pitcher deals with a mechanical key that sometimes gets awkward, right? It's a long season. You've got to be able to stay over the rubber and patient to deliver your pitch rather than rush and catch up at the end.
3-1. Bounce to the shortstop. Volpe gets the force at second, and that will end the inning. When he heads to the third, Yankees lead by 2.
Back here at Camden Yards, Yankees leading 2-0. We're here with Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Aaron, the Yankees have won 16 of their last 23. What has been the difference in your club?
I think a little bit of everything. For the most part, we've been getting really good starting pitching to give us a chance to win every game. The bullpen, I feel like, which has had some ups and downs. I feel like we're starting to get guys throwing the ball really well down there. And then our offense has been in a really good place, whether it's, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, getting on base a lot, the running game, doing a lot of good things. A lot of players right now are in a good spot as we get down to the wire.
Amed Rosario, 2-run double in the first inning. You added him at the deadline, Jose Caballero, Austin Slater. As a manager, what does it mean to you to have that kind of bench?
Yeah, having real platoon options in and around some of our staples and stars that are obviously in the lineup every day has changed us a little bit, made us a little bit more dynamic as teams try and match up with you later in the game. I feel like we have some real counter pieces now that maybe we didn't have at the start or in the middle of the year.
Aaron, thanks a lot. Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken. Goldschmidt at the plate. He got things started back in the first inning with a leadoff single off the glove of Henderson and would come around to score on the Rosario double that Ken referenced with Yankee skipper Aaron Boone. And now Goldschmidt grounds out to the second baseman Vasquez, 1 away.
Yeah, I'd be very careful right here against Aaron Judge, who struck out looking on the very first pitch here. Povich knows the information, but Aaron will be looking to get a fastball or something over the middle of the plate to drive.
His 3 career at-bats against Povich, home run, and then tonight, the strikeout looking. 48 career home runs against the Orioles in 113 games, and 48 home runs for Aaron Judge this season, 4th in all of baseball.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Diving into the numbers, he's probably swinging and missing more than he has, and he's still putting up these kind of numbers. Imagine if his contact rate went up, what kind of numbers he'd have. There's a great changeup. Looked like a fastball that was going to be right there and just faded away. You got to get Aaron Judge to reach and think down, because if you don't and you leave the ball up, it's not coming back.
2-1, missing away, ball 3. Judge leading Major League Baseball in batting average, second in runs scored, 8th in runs batted in. Bellinger on deck. Three-1 from Povich. And that's ball 4 to Judge, so he will head down to first. Yankees with a 1-out base runner.
When you're facing the Yankees, you're going to give up a lot of homers, a lot of walks, and you probably get some strikeouts. But that's known as the phenomenon that I don't even know why it's a phenomenon. 3 true outcomes.
Right.
Somebody made it a phenomenon, so everyone keeps talking about 3 true outcomes.
Bellinger first pitch. Fouls it off to the left side. No play for Westburg.
And basically those 3 true outcomes are things that only a player can. Nobody else has an impact. You hit the ball over the fence, nobody can defend it. You swing and miss, no, you walk. Those are plays nobody has an impact on making the outcome change.
Bellinger had one of those 3 true outcomes back in the first inning. He walked, came around to score. There's the 1-1. Now 2 balls, 1 strike.
They got to find a way to replace the third one, because strikeouts are not a badge of honor. It shouldn't be something that you're celebrating, even if it's one of the 3 true outcomes. They got to find something else. Walk, homer, those are all positive things.
Two and 2 on Bellinger. Judge the runner on first, 1 out. Yankees leading the Orioles 2-0. Two from Povich, up the middle. Double play ball. That will do it for the Yankees in the top of the third as the Orioles turn 2.
Welcome back to Camden Yards with Orioles manager Tony Mansolino. Tony, the Orioles are 57-52 since you took over in late May. How did the team turn it around?
Yeah, I think it's just a combination of good, talented players and a good, talented staff. I think despite the circumstances and everything that kind of surrounded us, I do feel like the clubhouse, the players, the front office, everybody kind of banded together and made this thing good.
You're an interim manager. You don't know what your situation will be next season. How do you approach this with that uncertainty?
Yeah, I think you got to make a choice when you're in an interim situation. First thing you got to realize is that it's still an opportunity, and that's the most important thing. But I think you got to make a choice between doing the right thing by the team and the players in the group or trying to keep the job. This whole time, my staff and I, we've made the choice to do the right thing as opposed to making the choice to try to hang on to something that might not be there. And I think in doing so, we've won over the clubhouse, we've won over the team, and we've played well since.
Tony, good luck. Thanks very much. Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken. Tony Mansolino will turn 43 at the end of the month. A baseball lifer, played at Vanderbilt, drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, spent 6 years in the minor leagues, and then hired as a coach by the Cleveland organization. And his dad, Doug, a longtime minor league and major league coach, still working.
Yeah, I think these situations aren't ideal, but it is, like he said, an opportunity.
Vasquez down on strikes, 1 away.
Baseball in the American League East is better when Baltimore is relevant. And they've been relevant up until this year. They're not that far away if they can find some frontline pitching and keep them healthy. And that seems to be the storyline throughout baseball. And it's a broken record, but it is what it is.
You just look at a team like Toronto and how quickly they've turned things around this year.
Yeah, offensively, they did not have a good year last year. And then all of a sudden, some of those guys in the back of their baseball cards started delivering. And now they're in first place and doing a lot of great things to secure possibly the best record in the American League.
Mountcastle struck out his first time up. Falls behind 0-2. Fried retired the Orioles in order in the first. Baltimore stranded 2 base runners in the second inning. Mountcastle strikes out for the second time, 2 away.
Yeah, that is just way better staying behind the ball and having great action on that changeup. The arm action looks like a fastball coming out to the hitter, and then look at the grip and how it just softens the ball to the home plate and is missing it by 2 feet. You got to think that's a fastball if you're Mountcastle, and then you're just so frustrated because you didn't even come close knowing it was a changeup.
Here's Westberg with 2 away. Fly to right back in the first inning. Fried going for his 18th win, which would be a new career high. Won 17 games with the Braves back in 2019. He's tied for the major league lead with Freddie Peralta. 17 wins apiece. Two 2-0 to Westberg, in for a called strike. Yankees with a 17-game winner and a 16-game winner. 2-2.
Well, and with their injuries, they needed those two guys to step up. That's why they went and paid big money for Max Fried. He's delivering, and Carlos has been really, really good. And now they're just looking for who's going to fill the gap in 3-4. They don't need a fifth starter come postseason.
Without Garrett Cole for the entire season, Fried strikes out the side. Five strikeouts for Max Fried. We head to the fourth in Baltimore. Top of the fourth in Baltimore. Kenny Albert, Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal. Giancarlo Stanton leading off for the Yankees takes a called strike. Fly to left his first time up. Yankees scored 2 runs in the first off Povich. Amed Rosario with a 2-run double to give New York the lead.
Well, one thing for certain, the high strike is in play tonight. Home plate umpire has called that pitch at the top of the zone. If you can get the high strike with your fastball and then follow it with a breaking ball close enough to the height of that fastball, that is tough for hitters to lay off of. And it puts a lot of stress on them when you get ahead of them earlier and get 2 pitches they didn't think were strikes. And that was a perfect pitch, trying to go inside. Again, you see a lot of times with 2 strikes, and talked about where he gets his success is tying up hitters on the inner part of the plate, because that's where he's comfortable. That's where the lane of his fastball is probably best utilized. And because he doesn't throw 95 to 97, which seemingly everybody else does, he has to be more fine with his pitches than the next guy who can live in the zone a little bit more.
2-2 from Povich. Called strike 3.
There it is again. That's the 3rd called strikeout, and that's 3 strikeouts, and they've been all in the called variety. This ball looks like it's going to chase to the hitter inside off the plate, and it holds that plane, And he gets a little run action.
So Judge, Volpe, and now Stanton all caught looking tonight. Here's Rosario, who drove in the 2 Yankee runs back in the first inning. Now has a 4-game hitting streak. 10 for 24 since coming over to the Yankees from the Washington Nationals.
I mean, I still would like to see this young man. Really, universally, most pitchers have now kind of come close to adopting just pitching out of the stretch. I'd love to see more pitchers pitch out of the windup. There's a reason they let you pitch out of the windup. Here he's out of the stretch, and it's just too simple to the hitter. They're seeing the same thing over and over again.
4th time a Yankee has been caught looking.
Well, his percentage is going way up. 42% inside to a right-handed hitter. He's had now 1, 2, 3, 4 of them to right-handed hitters. And no swing.
We've seen 5 consecutive strikeouts. Fried struck out the side in the bottom of the 3rd, and now Povich has struck out the first 2 Yankees here in the 4th.
This guy's having an unbelievable year. 33 home runs.
Hit 2 last night in Minnesota.
I mean, this was just the greatest transformation I've seen from a player that was really kind of added to just play once in a while for the New York Yankees. Coming from the San Diego Padres is now a mainstay in their lineup.
8 home runs in his last 19 games. His previous career high 17 with San Diego back in the 2022 season. Two 2-1 to Grisham. Povich strikes out the side after Fried did the same. Middle of the 4th. Camden Yards. Two runs on 3 hits for the New York Yankees. Baltimore Orioles, no runs, only 1 hit. Last 6 batters in this game have struck out. That streak comes to an end as Gunnar Henderson grounds out to the second baseman, Rosario. Max Fried is now retired. The last 6 Orioles he has faced. 5 strikeouts in all. Mayo with the only base hit back in the 2nd inning. Here's O'Neill, who grounded out to Rosario, his first time up. John mentioned earlier Jackson Holliday leading the Orioles with 17 home runs. Not in the starting lineup tonight. Nicked up a bit, according to the manager, Tony Manzolino. Center field off the bat of O'Neill. Catch is made by Grisham on the warning track for out number 2. Baseball is just heating up. Be a part of all the excitement, action, and unforgettable moments. Scan the QR code or go to MLB.com/tickets and plan your ballpark visit. 3 pitches in the inning. Made by Fried, 2 outs. Here's Jackson. Walked his first time up.
You always, as a pitcher, when you get the first 2 outs and you get them in relatively short fashion, boy, a dream to just get under 9 and get 3 outs, pitch deeper in the game.
0-2 to Jackson. A 6-pitch, 1-2-3 inning for Max Fried. He's now retired 8 consecutive Orioles. Anthony Volpe leads off for the Yankees against Cade Povich here in the top of the 5th inning. Volpe called out on strikes his first time up. Povich with 5 strikeouts, 4 of them have been looking. As we head down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken, with the acquisition of Caballero, the Yankees have some different options on the left side of their infield.
They do, Kenny, and this is one of the Yankees' big questions as they head toward the postseason. Will Anthony Volpe be their starting shortstop? From the pure roster construction standpoint, they're probably better off with Volpe at short. That way Jose Caballero can bounce around. He's playing third tonight. He's also played second, left, and right for the Yankees. He's a guy who can come off the bench and steal a base as well. But the question is Volpe that player? Offensively, defensively, with his left shoulder, he's had various issues all season long. The Yankees are bullish on him, but no player with 1,500 plate appearances the last 3 years has a lower batting average and on-base percentage, and only 3 have a lower slugging percentage.
Thanks, Ken. You had a look at Caballero in the on-deck circle. Here's the 2-2 to Volpe, and he fouls it off down the right field line.
So much in hitting is just like pitching. You got to have the mechanical cues in that front shoulder and that front hip, foot down. When it exposes itself and you're vulnerable by pulling out too soon of your front shoulder, you can't get to certain pitches, and especially if you're trying to hit for power and trying to lift the ball. He'll make the necessary adjustments. It's just been hard the last couple of years with the pressure that's on him.
Volpe with a base hit into left center. Heading for second. And he is in.
Well, this time he stays in, keeps the shoulders square, and then can reach that pitch away, and then makes up his mind right away. He's going to get to second. He makes a great slide, or he's dead to rights, really. Nice play by the Orioles. Just a good, better slide. The throw is just a little bit off, and he slides to the outside part of the tag.
Now Volpe, safe at third. His 17th stolen base of the season. But what a job by Volpe. First, using his speed, great slide.
You know, actually,
and now steals third.
Yeah, the best time to steal a third base, which is right after a double. I mean, the very next pitch. You don't see it very often. The pitcher's not thinking that's going to happen.
And we asked Aaron Boone about the team speed with the acquisition of Caballero. He said, we've got a lot of athletes. We can run.
Yeah,
and a prime example there with Volpe.
Well, they can put pressure on teams in a different way now. The pressure they always put on teams was they were just going to slug you and beat you with the homer and maybe the walk, but they were station to station. Defensively weren't good at all last year. Now they're better and they're more athletic.
2-1 to Caballero, now 2-2. Yankees stole 4 bases in their win in Minnesota last night. How about the Orioles? They set a franchise record yesterday with 7 stolen bases.
There's a lot more action and the ability to steal because of the rule changes, and it's good for baseball.
Caballero did not go around, says the crew chief Adrian Johnson. Count is full. Volpe, the runner on third with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 2-0. Payoff pitch to Caballero. Yankees now have runners on the corners. A bunt single for Caballero back in the second inning, and now he draws a walk. Start your Saturday strong. Big noon Saturday, Utah and Texas Tech. Battle for Big 12 supremacy. It all kicks off at 10 Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Salt Lake City. Then it's Texas Tech, Utah only on Fox. Rosario out for a chat with Povich, who has thrown 79 pitches. Running into some trouble here in the fifth. Runners on the corners, nobody out.
Yeah, this is a huge situation, not just because the runners on first and third, but what it turns the lineup over. So trading an out for a run is vital for this young man in the Baltimore Orioles to stay in this game. Otherwise, you're looking at the top of the lineup for the Yankees to break this game open.
Volpe and Caballero, the base runners. Wells at the plate. Grounded to second, his first time up. First pitch from Povich. Missing away, ball one. Volpe leading off the inning, stretched a single into a double, stole third. And then the walk to Caballero. Caballero caught in that rundown back in the second inning after his bunt single. The major league leader in stolen bases with 48. Wells takes ball two.
Yeah, you've seen the top of the strike zones lenient, the bottom of the strike zone not as much. And now with runner on first that has that kind of speed, he creates all kinds of pressure again for Povich, and it adds to the hitter's success.
Foul back to the screen, now 2-1 on Wells. Yankees with 2 runs in the first inning, threatening here in the fifth. Wells with a bloop, base hit into right field. Volpe scores easily. Caballero moves to second. Wells with his 68th run batted in of the season, and the Yankees lead is now 3-0.
Well, we talk about the slug of the Yankees. Sometimes this works too. You get a pitch inside, kind of get jammed, not on the barrel, and just enough over the infield second baseman there, and the Yankees are in business with a big chance to put a crooked number in the fifth inning.
Povich has still not retired a batter here in the fifth. Now trailing 3-0. Cano up in the Orioles pen. Yankees 3.5 out. Still an opportunity to win the division in these final 2 weeks of the regular season. First and second, nobody out for Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt has done such incredible work on the road. It doesn't make sense, the splits he's had at home and road, and also against left-handers. Really loves the breaking ball. High average against the breaking ball. So a lot of good things here set up for the Yankees.
Yankees picked up a game on the Blue Jays yesterday, another half game today, as Toronto was shut out by the Tampa Bay Rays 4-0. Blue Jays held to 4 hits. Here's Westberg to second for 1, on to first, double play. Caballero over to third, now 2 away.
That was a big ground ball double play for the young left-hander, and that'll go a long way to helping him out in the future. There'll be situations he's going to have like this a lot more often, and against a great offensive team like the New York Yankees, to come out of this with only 1 run, you almost got to walk Judge, and they are. So
that's his 32nd intentional walk of the season, extending a franchise record. So here's Bellinger, grounded into a double play his last time up. Walked and scored back in the first. Runners on the corners, now 2 away. There's Goldschmidt, who grounded into the double play a moment ago. Caballero sneaking down the line from third as Bellinger pops it up. Henderson has it. And the Yankees add to their lead. Middle of the 5th in Baltimore. It is now 3-0 New York. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. On this date, 15 years ago, CC Sabathia with his 20th win of the season against the Orioles has joined you in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Sure has. CC is, we'll never see another one of him either. Power pitcher that turned into a finesse pitcher based on injuries, and given the ability to keep learning his trade while he didn't have 96.
Inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown this past July. Max Fried needed only 6 pitches to retire the Orioles in the 4th. He has set down 8 in a row. Mayo at the plate here with a single back in the 2nd inning. The only Orioles hit tonight, and the last Oriole to reach base.
Fastball top of the zone, beats him. So he tries to pull his hands in to get on top of that pitch. You can't swing up at a high fastball if you're a hitter and trying to get it.
Two from Fried, called strike 3. Mayo down on strikes. That's strikeout number 7 for Max Fried tonight. Well, speaking of Cooperstown, there's no doubt about the fact that Clayton Kershaw will be there.
I mean, what a fantastic career. Comes back from shoulder injury. Not much room in the rotation, but then he becomes so important to the Dodgers because of all their injuries. He's having another great year. I just loved watching him pitch. He had everything you could want. Played his whole career for one team.
Announced that this will be it. He will retire following the 2025 season. Rosario struck out his first time up back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-1 bouncer up the middle. Volpe across to Goldschmidt. Now 2 away. So Ken, with Clayton Kershaw announcing his retirement, how do you foresee the Dodgers using him during this upcoming postseason?
Kenny, that's a really interesting question, and of course it surfaced right away today. The Dodgers' rotation for the postseason, at least in the first round, would be Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Snell in some order. Can they find a spot for Kershaw in the bullpen? How open would he be to pitching out of the bullpen? And John, I got to ask you, how difficult an adjustment would that be for Clayton Kershaw?
Well, Clayton's done it before, and he's had some of those crazy games where he had to come in and they utilized him. I just think Clayton knows how to pitch now, and he feels healthy, and nothing's going to be a problem for him. When you think about the Los Angeles Dodgers, you never thought they were going to need bullpen help. But yet injuries is absolutely crushing every team. So wherever Clayton fits in, he'll do the job just nicely.
Dodgers with a 2.5 game lead on the Padres. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, the Orioles went 5-1 against those two clubs. Top 2 teams in the National League West, including that unbelievable 9th inning.
It doesn't make sense. I said it the other day. It's probably the greatest comebacks in the history of baseball that I watched or that I could see.
Mateo strikes out to end the inning. 8 strikeouts for Fried. We head to the 6th. Baseball Night in America, 3-0 Yankees. Postseason baseball just around the corner. All leading up to the World Series right here on Fox. Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros, division leaders in the American League. Yankees atop the wild card standings as Stanton leads off here in the 6th against the 31-year-old right-hander out of the bullpen, Yennier Cano.
There's some fans getting worried, and there's some fans getting excited about their team getting hot at the right time. What's going on in the Central is just mind-boggling, with the Guardians making a playoff push that the Tigers made last year, with the probability being impossible. But they did it.
Stanton and the Yankees coming off their American League pennant last October, fell short to the Dodgers in the World Series. Jazz Chisholm has come out on deck to bat for Rosario as Stanton strikes out 1 away.
Pretty tight slider from low 3/4, working away from Stanton.
So here's Chisholm, the lefty, to face the right-hander Cano. Pinch hitting for Rosario, who drove in the first 2 Yankees runs back in the 1st inning. Chisholm with 29 home runs and 30 stolen bases.
Yeah, they always said he had lightning in his bat, and I loved what he said not too long ago. I need to learn how to play at 70%. Well, I guess he's getting there.
With his next home run, if he hits another one this season, he would become only the 3rd Yankee in the 30-30 club, joining Bobby Bonds and Alfonso Soriano, who did it twice. One from Cano. Now 1-2. Cano on in relief of Povich, who allowed 3 runs on 5 hits in 5 innings. 4 walks, struck out 5. Chisholm rips this one, fair ball into the right field corner, heading for second. So off the bench, a 1-out pinch hit double off the bat of Jazz Chisholm.
And you mentioned it. with the Yankees, and you see this lightning quick bat, top of the zone pulled. The Yankees played the Orioles 7 times and the White Sox 3 times. So in their remaining games, they could put some serious heat on the Toronto Blue Jays, and the division's still not out of their reach.
They've already picked up a game and a half over the last 2 days. This the first of 4 in this series. Then the Yankees will finish the season at home with a 6-game homestand, 3 against the White Sox, 3 against these Orioles. Grisham 0 for 2 tonight. Yankees now with 3 doubles among their 6 base hits.
Well, they've hit more home runs in this ballpark than any other team, and they've yet to hit one tonight, but they have just loved hitting in this visitors' park. 421 home runs in this ballpark,
which opened in 1992. And the first of those 421 was hit by Danny Tartabull off Bob Malacky back in June of '92 in a 10-7 Orioles victory. So Danny Tartabull with the first of the 421.
Very nice.
More than any other visiting team here at Camden Yards.
Yeah, if you're going to beat the Yankees, you're not going to beat them too often with fastballs. They're number 1 in just about everything. OPS, slugging, average. The breaking pitches, which he's gotten some swing and misses on, is one of the ways that you can take away some of their power.
Yes, the Yankees have enjoyed bashing it here at Camden Yards through the years. 2-2 to Grisham, fouls it off back behind first. Yankees this season, 258 home runs. As you mentioned, an even split.
Yeah.
Home and road.
It's crazy. They could have the same.
It's the 10th highest total all time in Major League Baseball in one season, 258.
They're going to add on to it, I'm sure.
Thanks. Chisholm takes his lead off second, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. Cano missing high and away, and the count is full. Eighth pitch of the at-bat from Cano is ball 4, so Grisham will head to first. And we head to Los Angeles for a game break. We say hello to Chris Myers. Chris. All right, thanks, Chris. Tag out is Chisholm for the second out of the inning.
Well, a couple base running snafus by the Yankees. And this one's going to hurt a little more than the other one. The other one was just an advancement from first to second.
That was Caballero back in the second inning, and now Chisholm tagged out here in the 6th. So now 2 outs. Grisham the runner on first. There's Chisholm in the Yankee dugout following his 1-out double. Volpe doubled his last time up, came around to score the 3rd New York run. using his speed on the base paths, stretching the single into a double. Then he stole third and was driven home by Austin Wells. Now the 0-2 from Cano, missing away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This kind of style of pitching would be tough on Volpe. Anything sweeping away right here, there's a good chance he reaches for it. He just pulled that last fastball away, but 7, 8, 9 hitters are doing their job for the Yankees tonight.
Rosario, the number 5 hitter, drove in a couple of runs in the first, and then the number 9 hitter, Wells, with an RBI single in the 5th. Two. Henderson moving to his left. Volpe is retired. 3-0 Yankees here in Baltimore, middle 6. Max Fried has been outstanding over the first 5 innings. So far this season, he has allowed 1 or fewer earned runs in 13 of his 30 starts, 2 or fewer in 20 of his 30 starts. Facing the number 9 hitter, Vasquez, who struck out back in the 3rd inning. One of 8 strikeout victims so far tonight. Fried has allowed only 1 base hit, and that was back in the 2nd inning.
He's done a nice job for the most part. Of course, he's gotten a leadoff hitter out every inning, which helps. He just got into that one funk where he lost command of his fastball, and that created that first and second 1-out mini rally. But Max Fried is he knows what to do with the lead, and he knows what to do when he's on with his fastball.
Tremendous numbers through June and since the 16th of August. Vasquez becomes strikeout victim number 9.
Great breaking ball. He's mixing it up well. And watch this pitch just fall off the table. Looks to the hitter the whole time. That's going to stay up and stay up. And in the last minute, no, too late.
So with 1 away, here's Mountcastle, who has struck out twice tonight. And he lines the first pitch from Fried into left field for the Orioles' 2nd hit of the evening. Baltimore with a 1-out base runner. The 2025 Roberto Clemente Award, presented by Capital One, recognizes a player who truly represents the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Learn more about the nominees. Vote today by scanning the QR code or visit MLB.com/Clemente Award. This is the Orioles nominee, Jordan Westburg. Carlos Rodon is the Yankees Clemente Award nominee. Mountcastle takes his lead off first, 1 away. As Fried delivers, swing and a miss by Westburg, 1-1. Fried with the 9 strikeouts. His season high is 11 at Detroit back in April. Career high 13 last year with the Braves in Boston. 1-2.
Well, he just has so many pitches the hitter has to look out for, and too many lanes to cover for a hitter. You got to hope that he makes a mistake with this pitch, or maybe he makes a mistake with a fastball in the middle.
Westburg down on strikes, 2 away. That's 10 for Fried.
Most hitters will tell you they can defend against one great pitch. They can't defend against both. That's when Jacob deGrom went to the next level. He covered both sides of the plate with velocity, and now we're seeing the emergence of power and great left-handed pitching in the American League. Crochet, Skugel. You look at the two lefties that the Yankees have.
Henderson, one of two Orioles who have not struck out tonight. Henderson and the on-deck hitter O'Neill. 1-0 to Henderson. Ken.
Fried tonight. Max Fried tonight. To say he is having it all working is an understatement. 10 strikeouts, I'm sorry. 3 on the curve, 3 on the changeup, 3 on the sinker, 3 on the four-seamer, and 1 on the curveball. 4 different pitches.
So Ken talking about all of the different pitches that we have seen from Max Fried here tonight.
Well, and that sometimes it'll get him in trouble, right? When you got too many and you're not really connected. But then when you've got it connected, the hitter has no chance.
Bouncer up the middle. On his way to third is Mountcastle. Base hit for Henderson, and the Orioles now have runners on the corners. Threatening here in the 6th.
Well, he takes this slider and takes it right up the middle. It was a little flat in the middle of the zone, and the hitter did what you do best. When you go up the middle, do not try to do too much. You're definitely going to get rewarded.
Tyler O'Neill 0 for 2. Takes a called strike from Fried, 0-1. Quickly 0-2 on O'Neill as Fried looks to close out the inning. He's allowed 2 hits here in the 6th and has a couple of strikeouts. Orioles had only 1 hit over the first 5 innings. Two and two.
See those last 2 with his body. He really tried to make that ball break with his body, and you can't really do that. You have to stay there and let your natural delivery and the movement of the pitch. And when you race away, when you see Max Fried fall towards third base, that means his body's getting too much involved to create the perfect sinker away, and it's not close enough.
Swing and a miss. O'Neill strikes out. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Fried. Ties his season high with 11 as the Orioles strand 2 in the 6th. This Sunday, a Fox NFL doubleheader starts with a rematch of last year's playoff classic between the Rams and the Eagles, plus other regional action, and then America's Game of the Week. Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bears. Some of you will see the Cardinals and the Niners. Check local listings for the games in your area on Fox. McDermott out of the Orioles pen, his 4th appearance, facing Caballero, who has reached base twice. 1 single and a walk.
Got to get those walks and strikeouts a little bit different. Again, 9 strikeouts and 9 walks. Got to get them walks cut down.
High and tight. Ball 3. .30 from McDermott, in for a called strike. Yankees scored 2 runs in the first, added a run in the 5th. Lead the Orioles 3-0. Caballero draws his second walk of the night. Leadoff man on for the Yankees here in the 7th. Here's Austin Wells, singled in a run back in the 5th inning. Throw down to first, and Caballero back in. We referenced his 48 steals on the season, leading all of Major League Baseball, 14 since coming over to the Yankees a month and a half ago.
He's going to be aggressive in this at bat.
When we asked Aaron Boone about him, he said he's fearless. He's as confident as anyone. He said he's such a good winning piece to our team. Leadoff walk to Caballero. One out to Wells, missing away, ball 2.
All that's going on at first base, all it does is make the pitcher rush and try to make quick deliveries, and all you want to do, even if you don't steal a base, is impact the hitter at the plate.
Pitch missing high to Wells, ball 3. Missing high once again, back-to-back walks to Caballero and Wells.
We're in the era of stuff, right? Pitchers have a lot of stuff, but the command's got to start getting closer to the stuff. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time surviving in this league. You can't just always rear back and throw it, not knowing where the idea of where that pitch is going. So you can tell that, you know, a couple mechanical cues and changes, and he can maximize all the stuff he has to get more results.
Goldschmidt steps in. First and second, nobody out. Top 4 in the Yankees order of all won league most valuable player awards. And now it's the top of the order, Goldschmidt, Caballero, and Wells. The base runners for the Yankees. A couple of walks allowed by McDermott. And now he misses inside. That's ball 1 to Goldschmidt. So he's thrown 10 pitches, John. 9 balls, only 1 strike.
Yeah, release point on the fastball is not anywhere close. He has a better feel for that cutter than he does his fastball.
There's a 92-mile-per-hour fastball in for strike 1 to Goldschmidt. Aaron Judge looming in the on-deck circle. A 1-1. Now 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Back-to-back walks. Yankees are ready with a 3-0 lead. No outs, top of the 7th inning in Baltimore. Two from McDermott, missing away, full count. Goldschmidt fouls it off back behind third.
Got away with a cutter again. Just got to be able to finish the pitch. And that ball spun over the middle of the plate.
Fair ball down the right field line. Caballero scores. Wells holding at third. RBI number 44 for Goldschmidt, extending the Yankees lead to 4-0.
There's a fastball away, and he just goes with it. And putting the ball in play with a short stroke, he thinks maybe that's foul, but gets rewarded. Walks. They're instant rally for the other ball club, especially when you walk the first 2 hitters of an inning.
Runners on the corners for Judge. Still nobody out. Judge with a drive left field. Catch is made by O'Neill. Wells comes home. Sacrifice fly. Run batted in for Judge. It's now 5-0.
Aaron Judge and MVP, I thought was a foregone conclusion with the year he was having, but not so fast. Cal Raleigh is showing why the position he plays and the numbers he's putting up has to have way more weight. Nothing to take away from Aaron Judge. Still think he's the leading candidate. But when you're playing a position where you're using your legs way more than anybody else as a catcher, now granted he's not catching every game, but that just takes away from offensive capabilities. And to put up those numbers as a catcher, wow, we got a race.
An incredible 56 home runs. Judge holds the American League record with 62 as we check in with Ken.
Kenny, when Aaron Judge won the 2022 AL MVP over Shohei Ohtani, it was in part because he did something historic. An American League record, 62 home runs. Cal Raleigh has done something historic. 56 home runs by a switch hitter. That is a record breaking the mark previously held by Mickey Mantle. But here's the thing. Judge's season, his 2025 season, is quite comparable to 2022 and 24, his other MVP years. And those are 3 of the top 10 seasons by a right-handed hitter in American League, National League history. So what he's doing is historic too.
Designated hitter number 27.
2 great choices as we look at Bonds in 2001, Judge 3 seasons ago, and Raleigh setting the record for both switch hitters and catchers this season.
Yeah, he's knocking out 2 things at once, man. That is, it couldn't come at a better time, really, for the Seattle Mariners. They were squandering a great opportunity until their last run of winning 9 or 10 in a row and 10 out of the last 11. And putting themselves back in a nice spot.
Stanton with a base hit down the left field line. Around third is Goldschmidt. He scores. Around third is Bellinger. He scores. And at second is Stanton. The Yankees now lead 7-0 as they've blown things open with 4 runs here in the 7th inning.
Well, when you make a mistake in location and the ball doesn't do what it's supposed to do, the hitter has the advantage, and the cutting fastball stays over the middle of the plate.
Here's an ominous note. McDermott has now surrendered at least 3 runs in all 5 of his career games. He heads to the dugout. 7-0 New York. Jose Castillo out of the Orioles pen will make his Baltimore debut, pitching for his 4th team this season. And will face Jazz Chisholm with Stanton on at second. 4 runs in here in the 7th inning for the Yankees. McDermott walked 3 in the inning, John, and they've all come around to score.
Yeah, those walks, they're never really that misleading. You know, you start the inning off with a walk, the probability of run goes way up.
Jason Dominguez pinch running for Jazz Chisholm. Or excuse me, for Giancarlo Stanton. With Chisholm at the plate. Still only 1 away. Chisholm shaken up.
Yeah, that's never fun where you foul that ball. I think the left-handers have this. I don't know why they have more of them. Just because of the way they open up and swing, but that never good.
Chisholm did not start the game. Pinch hit for Rosario in the 6th inning. So Chisholm hanging in there with an 0-2 count. Four runs on 2 hits in the inning, 3 walks. And now Chisholm will head back to the dugout, 2 away. As Castillo strikes out the first batter he has faced as an Oriole.
Well, Max Fried's sitting there waiting a long time, but guess what? They're at the team average of runs they score for him. That's a nice feeling. 7 runs again. He's getting that basically as an average, not every game, but an average.
Yankees lead Major League Baseball just over 5 runs per game. Oh, 1 to Grisham in for a called strike, 0-2. Yankees scored 10 in each of their last 2 games and now 7 here tonight.
Yeah, they're on a nice roll, and they'd like to take that right into the end of the season. Unless they're able to really run the table and win the division and get one of the best 2 records, you know, there's not much time off between that best-of-3 series. But the 2 teams that have the best record, Toronto being one of them right now, Detroit barely hanging on, they get that rest and they get that reset.
Called strike 3 to end the inning, but the Yankees score 4. Now lead 7-0 at 7th inning stretch time in Baltimore. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Scott's. Feed your lawn. Feed it. Inner Harbor, downtown Baltimore, Maryland. With the Yankees leading the Orioles 7-0. What a night it has been, John, for Max Fried.
He's been in control. The 1 walk, 11 strikeouts, and really never been in too much trouble. That's a clean game, and now a 7-run lead to boot.
Facing Jackson, who takes a called strike. Fried has matched his season high with 11 strikeouts. You talked about his run support, most among starters in all of baseball. Just over 7 runs per 9 innings. His teammates have scored 7 so far tonight. How frustrating would that get as a pitcher when your team went through stretches where they just didn't score too many runs for you?
It's unexplainable. It's happened to Justin Verlander in a historic way.
Strikeout number 12.
And you just, every pitcher there's a pitcher on every team that usually goes through something like this. It doesn't make sense. And then there's the one pitcher that has the benefit of every 5th day he's blessed with a lot of runs.
Fried now 1 shy of matching his career best. Facing Mayo with 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Mayo with one of the 3 Orioles hits tonight. Single back in the 2nd. Orioles coming off a sweep of the White Sox in Chicago. 12-5 over their last 17, but have been shut down by Fried here tonight.
Oh, that is the farthest ball I've seen hit left. That was almost over the dugout. Like he fouled it that far left in the upper deck. That's called turning on a pitch.
Somebody's happy up there.
There's no way you think you're getting a ball up there.
Now he fouls it off to the right side. About 20 rows back. They chose the right seats tonight. Mayo strikes out, and Fried matches his career high strikeout number 13.
See what a good night's rest does when you fly a pitcher.
That's right.
Ahead of the game. He has been on his game, and that slider down and in, so tough to hit.
Swing and a miss by Basayo. Struck out in the 2nd, grounded out to short in the 5th. A slow roller. It stays fair. And the catcher Wells makes the play to retire Basayo. 2 more strikeouts for Fried. 13 on the night. And we head to the 8th. Aaron Boone told us earlier tonight, quote, "Our offense is in a great place." How about those numbers over these last 3 games?
Fantastic. And, you know, schedules are what they are. And right now they're in a pretty good stretch of their schedule with teams that are not in playoff contention and going in the wrong direction. But you still got to go and execute. And they did. They have. And this road trip has been a good one so far.
This is game 7 of a 10-game trip. They've won 4 of the first 6. Anthony Volpe 1 for 3 tonight. Double came around to score back in the 5th inning. They've scored 7, and Max Fried has struck out 13. That's a winning combination.
That is a very good winning combination.
That's Paul Blackburn up in the Yankees pen. Payoff pitch to Volpe, called strike 3. Our game summary. Fried ties his career high, 13 strikeouts in 7 innings. Rosario drove in the first 2 Yankee runs in the first inning. Wells extended it to a 3-0 lead, and then Yanks scored 4 in the 7th. This is bounced to the third baseman, Westburn. Caballero was retired after Castillo struck out the first 3 batters that he has faced as an Oriole.
Done a nice job coming in here in his debut.
Austin Wells drove in a run in the 5th inning. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Kenny Albert, Hall of Famer John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal from Camden Yards in Baltimore. First of a 4-game series. These teams will close out the regular season at Yankee Stadium. Coming into this game, John, season series was tied at 3. But the Yankees had outscored the Orioles 38-19. A couple of blowout wins and more of the same so far tonight.
Yeah.
So it's now 45-19 in the 7 games.
I think that's a great example of how sometimes run differential cannot be totally the gauge or
1-2 on Wells. Yankees 7 runs on only 8 base hits. Orioles no runs, 3 hits against Fried. 2-2 from Castillo. Wells fouls it back. Lined into right for a 2-out single. Second hit of the game for Wells. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow at Playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Goldschmidt takes ball 1. Goldschmidt with a couple of hits tonight. He has scored 2 runs and drove in a run in the 7th. Right field, Jackson. Inning comes to an end. Middle of the 8th, with the Yankees leading by 7. What a performance by Max Fried tonight, matching his career high with 13 strikeouts in 7 innings.
Yeah, he was in command, in control, and had the lead. Great night.
Paul Blackburn on in relief for Fried. Facing Mateo here in the bottom of the 8th. Blackburn designated for assignment by the Mets in mid-August. Signed by the Yankees 5 days later. Caballero fires across to retire Mateo, 1 away. Vasquez 0 for 2, has struck out twice. Ground ball to the right side. Chisholm to first. Quickly 2 away. Well, John, it was back in September of 1998, September 20th, when Cal Ripken took himself out of the Orioles lineup prior to a game against the Yankees, ending his streak at 2,632 games. So on September the 19th, 27 years ago tomorrow, is when the Hall of Famer played in the final game of that streak.
Yeah, pretty incredible. When you think about it in its totality, you just can't even imagine somebody could do that, especially in a day and age where so many guys are getting hurt. What is it? Matt Olson has the second longest streak with the Atlanta Braves, and he's might as well be 7 countries away.
Right. Longest current streak among active players. And earlier this month was the 30th anniversary of the game against the Angels when Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's Ironman record. They honored Cal and then had that miraculous comeback against the Dodgers.
That's still.
Called strike 3. A 1-2-3 eighth for Blackburn out of the pen. Cade Stroud, the 5th Orioles pitcher of the evening, his 22nd appearance. And the first batter he will face, Aaron Judge, leading off for the Yankees. Top of the 9th inning.
Well, it's the biggest strike zone he's going to see in this inning.
Judge drove in a run, sacrifice fly back in the 7th inning. 48 home runs this season. Too shy of his 4th season with at least 50 home runs. That would match Babe Ruth's franchise record. The Babe born just a short walk from Camden Yards. Current site of the Babe Ruth Birthplace Museum. The Babe signed with the minor league Baltimore Orioles back in 1914, but was subsequently sold to the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh, to be in that room and have that discussion played out.
And that, of course, was not the biggest transaction of Ruth's career. He was then moved from the Red Sox to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Two to Judge, and the count is now full. Yankees scored 4 runs in the 7th inning to break this game open. Max Fried, 13 strikeouts in 7 innings. Bellinger on deck. Payoff pitch, and Stroud wins the battle. Strikes out Judge.
Well, here you have the American League all set up for some drama. The Guardians in the best spot maybe to create that drama either in the division or in that final wild card spot. Seattle and Houston, huge series coming up. They're going to do some flip-flopping.
One to Bellinger. Fouls it off to the right side, and we head down to Ken.
Guys, we've got maybe one of the biggest series of the season starting tomorrow night in Houston. Astros and Mariners tied for first place in the AL West, and not just tied for first, but both teams just one game back of the Tigers for the second bye, which would be, of course, a huge thing for either of those clubs. This series is going to have some terrific pitching matchups as well. Hunter Brown versus Brian Wu. Those guys both will get Cy Young votes. Framber Valdez versus George Kirby, and then Jason Alexander versus Logan Gilbert. You see the remaining schedules right there. This is going to be really fascinating down the stretch to see not just who wins the AL West, but how the wild cards shape out and what happens with the second bye.
It's going to be fascinating to watch over the next week and a half as the regular season heads down the stretch.
Yep, the extra playoff spots make it a little more exciting when we get to the last weekend.
Dominguez, Westberg. We head to the bottom of the ninth in Baltimore. Austin Slater has entered the game in right field for the Yankees. Here in the bottom of the ninth inning. As Blackburn will look to finish things off. He pitched a 1-2-3 eighth after Fried struck out 13 in 7 innings. Westberg leads off. He's 0 for 3. Great job by our entire crew tonight, led by producer Brian Colucci, director Dustin Denty, associate director Jordan Harrison, broadcast associate Tyler Arantia, Ben Bowman crunching the numbers along with Wayne Fiddleman. Blackburn delivers the 0-2 to Westberg. And that is the 15th strikeout for this Yankees pitching staff tonight.
Well, that's one thing in the playoffs. If you can limit how many times the other team hits the ball and you do a better job of putting it in play, you're going to have success.
The 15 strikeouts matches a season high for the Yankees. For their staff in a 9-inning game. They've now done it 3 times. Gunnar Henderson 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Orioles with only 3 hits tonight. All singles. Mayo in the 2nd inning. Mountcastle on Henderson in the 6th. Barring a miraculous comeback, Fried will become the first 18-game winner in Major League Baseball this season.
And that still matters. So to be able to pitch, and yes, you get some runs, you still got to be able to do your job. And the reason he gets so many runs is he pitches with the lead and the team adds on.
They average just over 7 per 9 innings for Fried, and they've scored 7 here tonight. 2-2 to Henderson. Bouncer up the middle. Henderson is retired. Out number 2. Nice play made by Volpe. Look at the upcoming schedules. Yankees picked up a game on the Blue Jays yesterday, and they are 1 out away from doing the same here today.
Yeah, there's been some late rallies. You know, teams that had a comfortable leads that are just not squandering, but losing some ground. Tigers really being the one who had the biggest lead. Now all of a sudden, all the divisions have a little bit of everything but Philadelphia in the East.
Chance of let's go Yankees here at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Orioles down to their final strike. Rosario got things started with a 2-run double in the first. Yankees added a run in the 5th and then 4 in the 7th. A 1-2 from Blackburn. Missing away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch to O'Neill. He draws a 2-out walk. Jeremiah Jackson walked in the 2nd, has struck out twice.
The Orioles are going to go to the drawing board and the season's over, and they're not going to make many changes offense. Where they're going to want to make changes is in the on the mound.
They have a big offseason ahead of them. Decision to make in the manager's office. Tony Manzolino's done a nice job as the interim. 57 and 52 coming into the game today. Mike Elias with a new title, President of Baseball Operations. Orioles once again down to their final strike. There's Elias. One-two to Jackson. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blackburn retired the first 5 Orioles he faced, including a couple of strikeouts. Walked O'Neill. Looking to close things out here. The 2-2. Right back to Blackburn. And that will do it. The Yankees win the first of 4 here in Baltimore by a 7-0 score. Max Fried, the first 18-game winner in Major League Baseball this season.
Well, the New York Yankees got in at 4 in the morning, but it did not deter them from putting 7 on the board, and their starting pitcher with a good night's rest, not giving up any runs. So the Yankees continue this road trip with their offense being totally in gear and throwing up a lot of runs.
7 runs, 9 hits for the Yankees. Orioles, no runs, only 3 hits. As the Yankees pick up another game on the Blue Jays, who lost earlier today to the Rays 4-0. So Toronto now with a 3-game lead in the American League East over the Yanks.
Red Sox kind of losing some ground there when you talk about the tightness that the East had.
Aaron Judge all smiles. Drove in a run on a sacrifice fly in the 7th inning. Paul Goldschmidt, a couple of hits, scored 2 runs, drove in a run in the 7th inning. And Goldschmidt is standing by with Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Thanks, Kenny. Paul, you faced Max Fried so many years in the National League. He had 13 strikeouts tonight, matching a career high in 7 innings. Was this the best you've seen him?
Probably the best I've seen him this year, but I mean, he's just tough. He goes out there and competes. He's got 7 different pitches. You never know what he's going to throw, and just glad I'm on his team now.
You guys have won 17 of your last 24 games. Paul, what encourages you the most about the way the Yankees are playing?
I think we're just play solid team baseball, and when we were struggling, when we weren't winning, nobody panicked. Everyone stuck together. We, knew we weren't playing our best, but just continue to work and push forward. It's been good to have some good results this last month, but we got a lot more work to do, and hopefully we can do it.
You're now 3 games behind the Blue Jays in the AL East. A lot of people see the American League as wide open. What do you think?
That we get to find out. That's the beautiful thing about this game. We all get to play, and whichever one of us gets in the playoffs, we'll play each other, and the best team will win.
Paul, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Kenny, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ken. Paul Goldschmidt, one of many heroes for the New York Yankees. Tonight, Rosario drove in a couple in the 1st inning. Max Fried, outstanding, matching his career best with 13 strikeouts. For the Hall of Famer John Smoltz and Ken Rosenthal, I'm Kenny Albert. Coming up after the break, Chris Myers from our LA studio with
God bless you. I'm up on this one again. No. Double pro. I met this girl last December. Her name na Monica. She sent me her picture from Twitter. She dey always wear short Nika tie. Monica too fine, no, but Monica too like money. I spend money for Monica. She still the follow. She still the waka. See Monica with trendy boy. I see Monica with the GoPro. I see Monica with Tomo Healer. GC, now waiting this up. God forbid Monica. Monica no be wife material. Too much money for Monica. I buy many things for Monica. Yeah. School fees for your brother. Christmas clothes for your sister. Plenty wrapper for your mother. I buy your father Okada tie. She still the waka. She still the follow. God forbid Monica. Monica don't be wife material.
If you get money, Monica go stay with you. If you not go get money, Monica fit stay with you. Monica, follow. If you get big things, she swallow. If you don't get, borrow. Monica don't take for Kalika, fi shame you. If you today no be the same you, why can't they love the same you? Monica when I see for Facebook, Monica go far away. Monica dey with that day, but me I go away. When tell me I like it, just you can't spend money. Monica want come party. If you no come concert, Monica no be Dundee, she like Dundees.
Come to my place, she go run, come. I swear she go run, come. She see me take out money, she go shake bum. She go shake bum. She dey pepper for mat like say I lick dum. I say I lick dum. She do like skin that she know they use condom. I swear she know they use condom. Monica, oh, Monica go kill the best you. Too much money for Monica. I buy many things for Monica. Yeah. School fees for your brother. Christmas clothes for your sister, plenty wrapper for your mother. I buy your father go kata chai. She still the waka waka, she still the follow. God forbid Monica no be wife material.
Adika da, she only if you know da. Adika da, it's time you know da. Bro, yeah, da.